Hello, everyone. My name is Tal, and I'm the Product Marketing Manager at BIGVU, and I want to welcome you for today's workshop. Thank you for joining us. Please let us know that you're with us today by writing in the chat where you're from and if you know BIGVU. And in the meantime, I just want to note that this workshop will be recorded and available for watching after the live event, so you don't have to worry about missing parts. And as always, we will have a Q&A session at the end, so all of your questions will be answered. So today in this workshop, we will learn how to grow your business with YouTube. And it doesn't really matter if you want to build your business or you already have one. This workshop is definitely for you. And for this, I invited Scott Simson. He is a YouTube content creator and a CEO of Video Marketing World. And help me welcome Scott. Hello, Scott.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for having me, Tal. Very excited to be collaborating with BIGVU on this presentation. I have an awesome presentation laid out for you guys. And I'm looking at the chat right now. I'm seeing people from all over the world. That's awesome. From Kuwait, from Portugal. It's so exciting. It's great. And very excited to be here. So with that said, let me load up my presentation. And I've got some really cool things to share with you guys all about growing a business on YouTube, or even starting a business on YouTube if you're brand new to video marketing. So I call this presentation the one-day business because if you do it right, you can start a business in one day and be profitable very, very quickly thereafter. But before I get into that, I want to share a little bit about myself. So one of my core philosophies in business is that an effective teacher must also be a doer. I have been on YouTube since 2014. We've built a number of YouTube channels, all totaling just over 400,000 subscribers and over 120 million organic views. I have not paid at all for any of my views, not one single time, not one penny. And I've made a living off of being a YouTube creator. I didn't mean to do that. So sorry. This is live. And sometimes my big fat fingers slip and hit the button. A little bit about me and my background. My wife and I are authors. We've written two books, two best-selling books, and we wrote them in 2010 and 2011. So we just passed our 10-year anniversaries on both of them, and very exciting. We've had a lot of success with writing books. I've been a speaker. I've spoken all over the United States on YouTube and different subjects. A lot of personal development. So I've talked a lot about success and business growth. Like I said, I've been a professional YouTuber, I'm a consultant and CEO of Video Marketing World. And these are some of the companies that we've had the pleasure of working with: Amazon, HEB, VTech, Mattel. We've done a lot of cool collaborations with very awesome businesses. And this is my conference. We've got a conference here in Dallas called Video Marketing World. We're really excited to be in person again this year, where we bring some of the top YouTube trainers, top social media trainers to come and teach business owners how to use video marketing to grow their business. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today, specifically about YouTube. These are some of the people that I've worked with. This is Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He's also on Shark Tank here in the United States. He's a very successful businessman and a billionaire. And probably a lot of you know who he is. And this is Tim Ballard. He's the CEO of Operation Underground Railroad. He's one of my clients, and his foundation helps stop human trafficking all over the world. So we've had a lot of fun working with their YouTube channel, and I'll talk a little bit more about them later on because we've had some cool success, and I'm going to share with you some of the things that we've done to help them be so successful on YouTube. And this is Russell Brunson. He's the CEO of Video Marketing World. He's also one of my clients. We've helped build their YouTube channel and help get them a lot of exposure for their company, ClickFunnels. So some of you might recognize him as well. This is one of the thumbnails that we did for Operation Underground Railroad on their YouTube channel. I'm going to talk about why this video was so successful and some of the things that we made sure to incorporate in this thumbnail. And I'll do that near the end of the presentation. So make sure that you stay tuned throughout the whole thing, because I'm going to share with you some of the secrets that we use to help get more views on YouTube using thumbnail strategy. So here's what we're going to be going over today. These are the three tactics, or not three tactics. These are the three things that I hope to accomplish by the end of this presentation. I'm going to show you the simple, untapped, automated income strategy that made us over $40,000 from 1 week of work. I'm going to show you a secret recording hack that allows you to shoot and edit videos in 15 minutes or less. So if you're not a video editor, I'm going to teach you how to create videos without needing to be a video editor. So you're creating and editing your videos essentially in real time. And then I'm not an author hack. So if you don't have a product to sell, I'm going to show you how to find a product to sell in a very simple manner that allow you to essentially have a product that you can remarket and start selling almost instantly. We're going to be talking about that as well. So why video? Here's the thing. Video is the most popular form of content. It's the easiest to retain. If you think about why you watch or think about buying a product on the internet, on Amazon.com or on your favorite online store, how many of you go to YouTube and research that product beforehand? How many of you go down to the reviews, the product reviews, and you watch the videos that are in the product review section? I know that I do. And so it's one of the easiest way to learn about products, and it's the easiest to retain. And so it gives you a lot of information, and it also allows you to retain that information. It also increases conversions on landing pages, increases organic traffic to your website. Customers want it. And guess what? Anybody can do it, even awkward people. And I know I'm kind of an awkward person. I tried to be cool when I was in high school. Here I am in high school. This was 20 years ago. And I tried to be cool and it didn't work out. I mean, look at me now. I stutter and I stammer and I say the same things over and over again. And yet I was still able to build a massively successful YouTube channel and a business in video marketing just by being a basic person. I'm not somebody who is a master at speaking. I'm not somebody who's a master on video. I just am who I am. And people appreciate that because I'm authentic. So no trying to be cool. I just am a normal person. And if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the chat and we'll get to them at the end of the presentation. I promise we'll try and get to every single question that you have. That's why I'm here. I want to teach you and answer your questions about YouTube. Why YouTube? Well, YouTube is one of the easiest platforms to get views and build a community. Your content can remain evergreen, meaning that when you post a video, it could be seen for years and years and years after you post it. Whereas if you're posting on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, they're all timeline-oriented platforms, meaning that once you post them, if you come back a couple of days later, you're going to have to do the mile-long scroll, or if you're in the European country, the kilometer-long scroll, and to get back to that content, to try and find it again. Whereas with YouTube, your content can be found for years and years and years because it's a search-oriented platform, which makes content evergreen, meaning that you can find it forever. Your content is cataloged. It's one of the easiest platforms to catalog your videos. And there's so many different ways to earn an income through YouTube. You can earn income through AdSense. You can earn an income through affiliate marketing. You can sell your own products. You can sponsor, work with in partnership with companies and have them pay you to sponsor their product or they sponsor your channel. And then it feeds Google. And I'm going to show you some cool examples of what I mean by that. But YouTube and Google are both owned by Alphabet Corporation. And so they work together. And Google loves to use YouTube videos to help educate people who are searching for different products or searching different things on Google. And then number one is that it's a search engine. It's the second biggest search engine in the world. And there's massive opportunity for getting your views in front of the right audience by using the right keywords and targeting people who are searching for different things. And I'm going to show you some examples of that as well. So why video? Why social media? So in business, let's talk about the old school method of getting people into your business and getting people to buy your products. So if you have somebody who is making cold calls, selling over the phone, telemarketing, the average person can make 64 cold calls a day. If they have a 3% close rate, which is average, on a $100 product, we're just going to make it easy with a $100 product, they're going to make about $200 a day. You multiply that all year long, 365 days, that's about $73,000 a year. That's taking no breaks, no vacations, just making phone calls all year round. Now, a content creator who owns a business, if they spend one day making one video and that video gets 10 million views, if they have a 1/10,000% purchase rate on a $100 product, it's 1,000 sales, make $100,000 a year for one day of filming and getting 10 million views. Now, I know 10 million views seems like a lot. So let's break that up and say maybe it's 20 videos that each get 500,000 views. That's doable. That's something that's very, very doable. And that's 20 days. That's not 365 days of making cold calls. That's just 20 days spending a few hours making 20 videos that do really, really well. So the idea is that these videos will compound and continue to get views. And so maybe it's $100,000 in the first year, but maybe it's $60,000 the next year. And then you create 20 more videos. And so now you're compounding your views and you're getting more people to come to your website and download your product. And that's the point. That's the power of being a content creator. That's the power of using video on YouTube to help grow your business. Here's an example of somebody who's done very, very well with not only building a YouTube channel, but getting people into their clinic. This is a chiropractor. He's in Houston, Texas. If you get on Google and you search Houston chiropractor, Dr. Gregory Johnson pulls up. Now, here's the thing. Dr. Gregory Johnson, he's got 470,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's probably got more than that now because this was taken a couple months ago. And so he's making some money from YouTube. But not only is he making money on YouTube, here's the first page of Google. When you search Houston chiropractor, Dr. Gregory Johnson's videos pull up on the home page of Google, the first page of Google. And he doesn't have to pay for this. It's just because he has so many YouTube videos that have Houston chiropractor in the titles that he's ranked on page 1 for Google for Houston chiropractor because he is just crushing it, making YouTube videos and capitalizing on YouTube and Google working together. So he's on the first page. Guess what? You see how many people are paying? Here's one right here. The Joint. There are people who are paying for spots for Houston chiropractor on the first page of Google. Dr. Gregory Johnson is not only not paying, he's getting on the first page of Google. He's not paying for those positions, but he's getting paid because he is a YouTube creator and he's making money off of his content on YouTube, running ads on YouTube. So the idea is that Dr. Gregory Johnson is beating everybody else who is paying for their positions on YouTube, on Google, because he's creating content on YouTube. So if you have a business wherever you're at in the world, consider this tactic by utilizing the same, the principle in your titles of your location and what you do, putting that in your titles. You could start ranking on the first page of Google for your business wherever you're at in the world, because Google likes to use YouTube videos to help with their search results. So just keep that in mind. This is a strong tactic that's made Dr. Gregory Johnson very, very successful. So I've broken this presentation down into a couple of different parts. And part 1 is about YouTube. So we're going to be talking about how to be successful on YouTube first. And then we're going to be talking about how to integrate some business things into your YouTube channel to help grow your business and help get more revenue to your business by utilizing video on YouTube. So how to be successful on YouTube. So number 1, you need to pick your niche, you need to pick your category, and then you need to create titles that work. So here's an example from my channel. Both of these videos were created, actually it's been almost 7 years now. This video right here was on our channel. It's called Sniff the Tooth. It was a family vlog, obviously very dumb, very dumb video. My daughter lost a tooth and she wanted to smell the tooth, what it smelled like. Kind of gross. I get it. But we created this video called Sniff the Tooth. Look how many views it got. 453 views. Not a lot of people are searching for content called Sniff the Tooth, probably because it's weird and a little bit gross. And then I made this video, how to build confidence, 3 quick tips, 56,000 views on this video because people are searching for how to build confidence. So the first lesson that I can give you is to title your videos the way that people would be searching for them. And this is a tactic that I use on every channel that we manage in our company from very early on. This is when we're launching a new channel, all of the content that we're producing is utilizing titles that are based around what people are searching for. So you want to make you want to do some keyword analysis and do some keyword research and find what people are looking for. Then title your videos based off of what they're searching for. Because the first thing that you're going to do, or the first way that you're going to get traffic on YouTube, is through YouTube search. Now, there are many different algorithms that are working side by side on YouTube that will put your content in front of an audience. Search is one of them, and it's the easiest one to get ranked for. It's the easiest one to get traffic from. Then you have suggested, which is that right-hand column alongside of your videos. So when you're watching a video, there's a column to the right. That's the suggested column. And if you can get exposure there, then you can get a lot of traffic. But sometimes that takes a little bit of time to build an audience from, because YouTube doesn't necessarily know how to categorize you if you're starting when you're first starting. They know how to categorize you based off of how you're titling your content and how and what you're putting in your description. Once they can figure out what audience likes your content, then they can retarget or create a lookalike audience and put your videos in front of people who like similar content to what you're producing. So number one, you want to focus on search. And then as you're growing a YouTube channel, then you start creating content that gets more into suggested. That's a little bit more of an advanced lesson that I don't want to spend a lot of time on today, because I'm coming into this presentation assuming that everybody is starting from scratch. And so I want to teach you how to set yourself up for success from the very beginning. So creating titles that are focused on search is most important from the very, very beginning. This is a title sheet that we use essentially in our business. Essentially what we do is we create a whole list of titles based on search, and then we have our clients create content based off of those titles. So we do all of our title research first, and then we create content based off of those titles. So I never go into a video shoot thinking, okay, what are we going to shoot today? It's Monday, so we're going to talk about business, right? No, I am very specific about the way that we shoot our content. We do all of our title research before we turn on the camera at all. So I highly recommend starting with keyword research and figuring out what titles are working. This is one of the tools that we use. It's called TubeBuddy. They've got a great keyword research tool, and they've got a free version you can get at tubebuddy.com. Love TubeBuddy. This is one of our clients, Pal Ponder on Weather. He's a weatherman. And when I first started with him, he had 0 subscribers. We focused on building titles that were around what people were searching for. And one of the tactics that we used for this channel was called the double down strategy, meaning that when we found a piece of content that started to get more views than all of the other content, we would double down on that traffic and double down on that content. So essentially, what we would do with him, he ranked very early on for winter forecast, and so we did winter forecast 2 weeks in, and it got thousands of views. And then a few weeks later, we did another video called winter forecast, and it got thousands of views. And he built his channel very rapidly. He got almost 5,000 subscribers within a very short period of time, because he used the double down strategy and just used titles that we knew would rank well on YouTube. Another thing that we did with his channel was we used a title consistency. And so we figured out that his biggest competition was the Weather Channel, the national Weather Channel in the United States. And so we started putting Weather Channel at the very end of all of his videos. And you can see right here, here's POW Weather Channel, because we wanted to rank for those keywords, Weather Channel. And this is what ended up happening. After a few weeks, he started to outrank the Weather Channel for their own keywords. So here he is in position number 1 on YouTube, searching Weather Channel. He's at number 1. He's at number 2. Here's the Weather Channel, somebody else. And then here he is at number 5 as well. So he started ranking for those keywords because he was very consistent in using the keywords that he knew people would be searching for. And he put them in every single one of his videos. So having keyword consistency for the keywords you're trying to rank for on YouTube is also very important. And then start creating. Understand the psychology of marketing. Here's what I mean by that. There are channels or websites like BuzzFeed that have very clickable thumbnails and very clickable titles, right? 36 jaw-dropping military photos. Well, I want to see that because I want to see these cool photos. Let's see here. What cats and dogs can see that humans can't. You won't believe it, right? Very emotionally engaging type of titles and thumbnails. These, if you can get your audience to ask a question when they look at your thumbnail, when they look at your title, you'll generally get them to click because they have to answer the question. So getting your audience to ask a question when they see your thumbnail and title is very, very important. A lot of people miss out on success on YouTube because they don't focus enough time on titles and thumbnails. Titles and thumbnails are almost more important than creating videos because that's how you get people to click. Your videos could be amazing, but if you don't have something that's clickable, nobody will ever click your videos and your video will die. So make sure that you use thumbnails and titles that get people to ask themselves those questions. Learn how to market your content through titles and thumbnails. Here's back to this Operation Underground Railroad thumbnail. Here's the image. Now the question is, so the text that I used was "she was sold." This video has almost 1 million views on it because it got people to ask the question. What was the question that people asked? How was she sold? Where was she sold? Who bought her? Why is this lady crying? There's so many questions that you can ask in this thumbnail that you have to click on it. And it worked very, very well. It's got a very high click-through rate, and it's got almost 1 million views because of the power of this thumbnail. It's also emotionally engaging. It triggers an emotion in people. Here's another one for Operation Underground Railroad. 3,000 people rescued. The question is, why does this little girl have casts on her legs? What happened to her? Who hurt her? How can we stop them? This one has almost 300,000 views. So it's done very, very well as well. Here's one of my personal, this is my biggest video on our channel. It's got 30 million views, over 30 million views now. What's the question? Is the spider that big? Where is that spider? Why is that spider so big? Did it bite somebody? There are so many questions that come from this one thumbnail. 30 million views because of it. So get people to ask themselves questions. Also tell stories with your content. So here's one of our clients. This is a video that we helped him work on. And in this video, he wanted to see if he could pay somebody to start a YouTube channel and make it successful, all using the website Fiverr. So the question or the title is, I paid Fiverr to create an entire YouTube business. The question that you ask yourself is, how many subscribers did he get? Did it work? How much money did he make? Did he get exposure in his business? And so this type of thumbnail, this type of title can work very, very well after you have an established audience. Because again, here, this doesn't really appeal to search. This just evokes a lot of curiosity. And I know I'm flying through these things. So again, if you have any questions, I'll answer them here in just a few minutes. But getting people to ask questions is the best way to get them to click on your content. Choose a schedule and be consistent. This is important for the viewer because they want to know if you're dependable and reliable, and they want to create a schedule around your upload schedule. So every couple of days, if you're uploading, they want to know that. It's good for them to know that, so that way they can create a schedule around you. That builds a loyal audience. And it also is good for you because it forms habits. And if you can form habits, then you're less likely to quit, or you're less likely to get overwhelmed. It just becomes a part of your schedule as well. So choose a schedule. That's a very good way to be successful on YouTube. Now, here's the best way to create content without having to learn how to edit. This is a software. It's free. It's called OBS Studio, and it allows you to live stream your content, but it also allows you to add little details into your content that you can click one button and pull up your subscribe icon, your subscribe assets and visuals, and you can press different buttons to pull up different images. So you can essentially edit your content in real time. So it could be like, hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Scott Simson. Welcome to my channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, right? And then I press the number 1 key, and then this visual pops up. And then I don't have to edit that in after the fact. The point of using OBS Studio this way is so that way you can save time on editing in post-production, and you can create more content while more efficiently, while being more efficient. So OBS Studio is an incredible tool and resource to creating content without having to spend more time. It's just being more efficient. So I would highly recommend checking that out. Another tip for being successful on YouTube is to be confident and authentic. Here's one of the best examples of authenticity. Maybelline New York is a $1 billion company. They've got just over 300,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel. Nikki Tutorials has got just about, I think she might be over 14 million subscribers. Both of these channels do makeup. One of them is from somebody who is authentic and incredible and who's built an audience around her. And the other one is a company that uses their logo, and they're trying to build a brand or a YouTube channel around their logo. People want authenticity. Maybelline New York is afraid of Nikki Tutorials. I promise you that, because Nikki Tutorials, if she says something bad about Maybelline New York's product line, they will lose money. Guaranteed they'll lose money. Whereas Nikki Tutorials is just an authentic human being. Maybelline New York could have all the money in the world. It doesn't matter, because Nikki Tutorials is a human, and people empathize and relate to humans. So be authentic in your content, and it will go so much further than hiding behind a logo. Part 2, automate your business. And I need to move a little bit faster here because I'm running out of time. 3 things you need to sell: product, emotive delivery, and marketing. So physical versus digital products. I choose digital products every day of the week because you can sell them with very little overhead, and you can automate the process. With physical products, there are things that you need. You've got creation, sourcing, drop shipping, design, inventory, overhead, all of these things that you need to think about with physical products. Whereas with digital, you just need to create the product, host the product, and create a sales page. You can do that all through you can market your digital products all through YouTube and have it completely automated. Now, if you don't have a product, that's okay. There are sites that are called that sell PLR, which is private label rights, and master resale rights. It's essentially products that have already been created on virtually every subject, and you just buy their product, and then you can resell it and keep all of the profit. So for example, here's a lot of different products that you can buy from a popular PLR website. This is about, real estate. If you're a real estate agent, you can buy the home buying kit for $10, and then you can resell that for $10. And the thing is, once you own this, you own the resale rights, and you can sell it forever and keep all of the profit. So you don't have to create the product. You don't have to design it. It's already done for you. You just incorporate it into your website, and then you can sell it. It's one of the easiest and most simple ways to find a product and to start selling immediately. You could build a YouTube channel today and have a product to sell tomorrow, and you could start making revenue. That's what I'm talking about, the one-day business. That's the power of combining this PLR system with YouTube. And capture emails. You want to capture emails on every single channel that you create. You want to capture the emails, because what happens if YouTube disappears? You want to have a way to contact your subscribers. This is an asset. This is something that you take with you. You take your email list with you. This is one of our email capture, one of our old email capture pages, where we had a manual teaching how to create YouTube thumbnails, and this worked very, very well. And then we always have an upsell. Every time that we have an email capture, we have an upsell. So that way, every lead that we get, we could hopefully turn into a potential customer. And we have this one was $17, a $17 upsell. And, we were selling products all the time. This is one of our screenshots from one of our funnels, but essentially you capture an email, and then you try to turn them into a subscriber, and it works. Very easy. This is a very quick way of setting up a business within just a couple of days. So the point is to make YouTube the center of your social media content strategy, because again, every other one of these platforms is timeline oriented. As soon as you post, there's the clock starts ticking on how long it's going to be in front of an audience. YouTube, that's not the case. You can continue to get views, subscribers, and traffic forever, because YouTube content remains evergreen. Above all else, you want to give value. Never, ever, ever turn your social media or your content strategy, your social media platform into a billboard for your business. You always want to be giving value, because you want people to continue to come back to you. If all you are is a billboard and you don't get any engagement, then people will stop coming back to you, because those social media platforms will stop sharing your content, because they realize nobody cares about you or your content, because nobody is engaging with it. So give value, give people a reason to engage with your content, and you'll be massively successful on YouTube. Now, if any of you guys we've created a YouTube channel blueprint. This is a 55-page manual that goes through strategy and tactics for being successful on YouTube. It's at vidforbusiness.com. And it's just a download. So you put your email in, you get the download. So vidforbusiness.com. And here I am. If you want to contact me, you can reach me at I'm Scott Simson on most social media platforms, and our business is graffiti.com. That's like graffiti, drop the G, RAFFITI. So thank you very much for allowing me to present to you, and let's jump into Q&A. Thanks, Tal.
Great. Thank you, Scott. It was fascinating, and I think it can help BIGVU as well. Okay, so feel free to ask more questions. I just sent you in the chat Scott's website, and also I will send you BIGVU's information. And we do have a few questions already, so I'll put them on the screen.
Perfect.
First one, yes.
All right. Okay. Is there a certain color you advise to use in thumbnail? So I have gone back and forth. Thumbnail design changes all the time. What works and what doesn't work. It used to be last year and a couple of years ago, it used to be that if you have a big face on your thumbnails with big eyes showing a lot of emotion, then it would drive more clicks. In the gaming community, it was like if you have very bright and bold colors, it would drive more clicks. What I'm seeing right now in the business side of things is having very real screenshots from your video, and with very compelling titles in your thumbnails, very compelling text that gets people to ask a question. That's what works best. So the thumbnails that I showed you with Operation Underground Railroad, it's all about getting people to ask those questions. So colors don't necessarily matter if you can get people to ask the question. Now, if you're in gaming, or if you're creating a Mr. Beast style channel, then being very bold and having those bright colors is still important. But what's most important is just getting your audience to ask a question.
Yeah, and actually, he has a follow-up question about the
Awesome.
text in the thumbnail, so I think it's related.
So yeah, using text, it really depends. Again, if it adds to getting them to ask a question, if it adds to the curiosity element to the thumbnail, then yes. But a lot of people use too much text; they overdo it in their thumbnails, and then they end up getting a lower click-through rate because it becomes confusing. A confused mind is a mind that will retreat. So you want it to be simple enough that it doesn't overwhelm them, but gets them to ask that question. And if any of you guys have any questions about thumbnails, there's a great Facebook group. It's called Master Thumbnails, and I'd highly recommend joining that and then uploading your thumbnails there to have essentially a focus group of people who will look at your thumbnail and then give you advice based off of what they're seeing. So Master Thumbnails on Facebook.
Great. We have another question.
OBS Studio does not charge a monthly fee. There are some live streaming softwares that do charge monthly fee, but OBS is free. It's called Open Broadcast System, I think. Open Broadcast System. So it's an open source, and it's completely free.
Amazing. Actually, someone here wants to have the same background as you do.
So this was all. I probably spent about $500 to put all this together. These are just some soundproofing panels. There we go. Soundproof panels, and then I've got a shelf with glass shelves, so I can have lights shining all the way through, illuminating everything. Everything that I put on my shelves is intentional. I've got let's back up here, the thumbs up. It's just it's a subconscious reminder to give my content, a thumbs up on YouTube. I've got a YouTube certification plaque. Here's my 100,000 play button, 100,000 subscribers. And then these are mountains, because I used to live in the mountains. Everything that you do in your background for live streaming, just make it intentional and get people to be able to relate to you.
Okay, we have another question.
Okay, so that's actually a really good question. So YouTube channel banners are somewhat important. They're not as important as they used to be, because a lot of people subscribe from your videos now and not necessarily from your channel. But what I always tell people, especially business owners, when they're creating a channel banner, to keep things very, very simple and let people know exactly what you're offering in a second of just looking at your banner. So if you are if you are teaching how to repair cars on your YouTube channel, just on your banner, just have a cool car and then say, we teach you how to repair cars. Just make it very simple, so that way people know exactly what you're doing the instant that they see it. Where most people make mistakes is they try to get very creative in their text on their banner, and nobody cares about that. It just adds to confusion, and if you make people confused, then they won't stick around. So and then if you want to design, if you want a good resource for designing a banner, there are very, very top quality artists for very cheap prices on Fiverr.com. That's the place that I go to for all of my channel banners now.
Great. Okay. Another question from Christine.
Okay. What about the type of equipment used to make content and things like making intros, etc.? Okay, so again, I go to Fiverr to get my intros made, because people on there are professionals. They do it all the time, and it's very easy for them. So I usually pay $20 to $30 for an intro video that I can just put into my content. The type of equipment you need to use to make content, any cell phone, like current generation cell phone, will work now. Just get a little tripod or a little stand, and if you're doing just talking head style content, that's enough. And then use BIGVU to write your scripts, and then do teleprompting and get really good at teleprompting, and that's even better. But yeah, any cell phone now is more than enough to start with. As you get better and you start making money with it and becomes your profession, then you can upgrade your camera. This is a Canon 5D Mark IV. It's a pretty expensive camera, but if I were starting from scratch, I've got a Samsung Galaxy Note 20, and it's good enough quality. I use this with BIGVU all the time to create short videos, and it's more than enough. So that, and then a computer with editing capability, and you don't need to start with Adobe Premiere or Final Cut Pro. You can start with a lower end software. I still use a software called Cyberlink Power Director. I think it's like $100 or something like that. Very inexpensive, and it produces the same quality of content as Adobe Premiere. So it's good. It's just learning how to use the software that you have to its fullest capabilities. You can use probably Windows Movie Maker, and if you know what you're doing, you can create content that's as good as Adobe Premiere. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to spend a lot of money to be successful creating content.
Yeah, and I want to add that you can also do those kind of things with BIGVU. You can record with the teleprompter, and then you can edit with BIGVU, adding your logo and background music, and changing the screen behind you with the green screen. So all the main things that you can edit, if you don't have like crazy and really advanced editing skills, you can definitely use BIGVU for creating a professional video.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. A question from Monica.
Video Marketing World is this October. It's October 14th, 15th, and 16th here in Dallas, Texas. And you can get tickets at videomarketing.world, www.videomarketing.world. And can we add that into the chat too, Tal?
Yes. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, it's www.videomarketing.world. Yeah, and it's going to be awesome. We've got some of the biggest YouTube trainers in the world coming and teaching from our stage. We've got incredible speakers this year, and it's all going to be in person. There is the option to do the virtual pass if you can't make it to Video Marketing World. We've got the virtual pass on our website as well. That's a great question. Thank you, Monica.
Okay. We have a question about the background music. If you're talking about BIGVU, if it's for me, so if you have a subscription for BIGVU, no matter which one, you can use our collection of music, or you can upload your own if you have copyrights-free music of your own. And also about Fiverr, it's written like this.
But yeah, 2 R's. Yeah,
2 R's.
Fiverr.
Yes, I sent it in the chat. Great. So I think it's a general question. I will put it on the screen, but I think a lot of people are having hard time with reaching people, getting more audience, more views to their videos, or more subscribers actually. Mm-hmm. So what is your golden tip for that?
Okay, so on this channel, I haven't looked at it, but okay, I have a video on my channel with 10,000 views, but less subscribers, only 80. What do I do? Okay, so this is, so I see this all the time, and there's probably, what's probably happening is you have what's called audience segmentation, where you have created a lot of content on one subject, and then you have one video that's on a different subject that's doing very, very well. And I could be completely wrong, but this is something that I run into a lot. And so what typically happens is that you've got a bunch of subscribers, or you've got 80 subscribers that have come for some content, but then they're not interested in watching your other content. So what I would say is to create another video with a very similar title to the one that has 10,000 views, and then change your topic or transition your channel to be more about whatever subject that was that got you all those views. Because when YouTube starts to rank you, then you want to double down on that. If you want to build quickly, you want to double down on that content, so that way you can capitalize on YouTube recommending those people to your channel. Otherwise you can run into you just kind of having a dead channel that never really picks up because YouTube is ranking you for one thing and you're creating content for something else. Okay, all the videos are tech tutorials. Okay, so that's cool. So then I would just double down. I would just double down on that video that's getting all those views. And then what I would do is I would create a card within that video that's pointing to your newest video. So if that 10,000 view video is still getting a lot of traffic, use that as a marketing tool and create a card inside that video promoting each of your new videos. And that's one of the strategies that we use for our clients. We'll go back on their top most active videos, their top 5 most active videos, and we'll create cards for every new release. So that way we're constantly promoting and pushing more audience members into the newer videos. And YouTube really likes that because you're keeping people on the platform for longer periods of time.
Okay, we have a question about YouTube Live.
So YouTube Live, I think you can do it from your computer, starting from day one. But I think if you want to do it from your cell phone, you need to have a certain number of subscribers. I can't remember.
I remember that. Yeah, if from your phone you can't do it from day one. You have kind of a limited amount of subscribers that you need to have, but from your computer you can start in day one.
Yeah, anytime. So what you need from your computer is you need a subscription to like Restream, which is what we're using right now, or you can do it using OBS. You can use OBS Studio, which is free, and integrate that with your YouTube channel, and you can start going live instantly on a new YouTube channel from day one.
We got help with Jess. It's 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, perfect. Yep. Awesome.
Thank you, Jess.
Thanks, Jess.
Okay, we have a lot of questions. We will just answer a few more. Let's see. Okay, we have something about BIGVU from Mary. You have the option to adjust the speed in the teleprompter so you can feel comfortable with it. Just try to do a few takes, try to make it faster or slower and find the right speed for you. And you have the option to pause on silence and pause the script when you stop talking, so it can help you adjust the speed for you.
Awesome.
Great. Let's see. Okay, we have a question about harming a video.
Okay, can you hurt a video that's doing well by editing it to add a card at the end? No, you'll be just fine. Adding cards could actually end up helping that video do even better, because YouTube is looking at a couple of things. They're looking at your click-through rates, make sure that people are clicking on your videos, but then they're also watching audience retention, so how long people are staying on that video, but they're also watching session time. And session time is just keeping people on the platform for long periods of time. And then another metric that they're looking at is how many videos people are watching in a row. And so if you can get somebody, and that's a metric that you can see in your analytics, if you can get your videos to lead to more video views, then YouTube will show those videos more. So it's actually a really good way to grow your channel and get more views is by using cards to promote other videos. Good question.
Yeah. 2 last questions. I think this is one of it's a big question.
Yeah. Okay, so how to gain subscribers? That is a very big question. The best way, again, is to create really good content. Like, I could give you tips and advice on how to speak or what to say or the strategy that you should have for every single one of your videos. But if you're not creating good content that is connecting authentically with your audience, then people won't stick around for more. So the best way is to just be yourself and talk about the things that you love and that you're passionate about. And if you're passionate and you're authentic, people will stick around. Now, one of the things that we do teach is storytelling, because there's a lot of people who are saying, there's a lot of channels that are like automotive related, right? So it's like how to change a tire, how to fix a transmission in a car, how to change an engine, how to do whatever with cars. There's millions of people who are creating that type of content, but they're only nobody has a story that's exactly like yours. That's the point that I'm trying to make. So if you can teach and entertain by telling your personal stories, then you can grow a channel that's authentic and that's related to the same thing that people have done millions of times over and over again, and people will watch it because it's related to you, and it's your story. So tell stories with your content, and it'll be better for you over the long run.
Thank you. Okay, last question is more about content creation.
Okay, any advice on anyone who has a market but has no idea on what to post? So that's so where I'd probably start with something like that are what are the questions that you hear most in your market, right? So then I would create content based off of those questions. What are the questions that your customers have? Because if your customers have those questions, then they're going to be searching for them online. That's the first place that I would start. Now, then I would try to incorporate some of your own personal stories into those questions, because chances are that somebody else is already creating those videos as well. But the idea is answer questions that people have, and if you can answer questions, then, or if people have those questions, then you can almost guarantee that they're going to be watching your videos as well, because you have the answers to them. So that's where I'd start.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think you should ask the users or your target audience what they want, what they need, think what you want to do as part of this market, and just start creating content. Okay, I think this is it. We got a lot of questions, and I want to thank you, Scott, for a fascinating workshop. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I want to invite everybody to our Facebook group, which is Video Marketing World. So just type in Video Marketing World on Facebook, and then come join our Facebook group. We're answering questions, and there's a lot of cool influencers and people in there too that'll help answer those questions. So yeah, please come join us.
I just wrote it in the chat, so feel free to contact Scott. And thank you everyone for coming, and see you in the next workshop.
Thanks, guys.